Hello, and welcome to Between Thoughts and Being Reflections on Being Human. I'm Dr. Jaspreet Soor, a retired physician, transitions guide, and storyteller, exploring what it means to live with awareness, intention, and humanity in a complex world. This podcast is a space to slow down together, a space for reflection rather than instruction. Here, we explore the human experience through stories, neuroscience, and gentle inquiry, not to arrive at quick answers, but to leave with better questions. So, wherever you are, take a breath, settle in, and let's begin. Today's episode is titled The Quiet Loss of Humanity When We Stop Feeling. There's something I've been noticing recently, not just in the world, but in the people around me and in myself. Not because it's loud, but because it's quiet, almost too quiet. We often think about the loss of humanity as something dramatic, something visible, something happening out there. But what I've been sitting with feels different, more subtle, more personal. Someone shared something with me recently, and it stayed. For the first time in history, we are able to witness human suffering in real time from anywhere in the world. And yet, we can do almost nothing about it. So we keep scrolling, not because we don't care, but because something in us is trying to cope. Because what happens when you're exposed to suffering over and over again, not directly, but continuously, through fragments of lives that you cannot reach, you cannot help, and you cannot change, something in you adapts. And I see this again and again in how people respond, in how we relate, in how we move through the world. You begin to protect yourself. You look away, you scroll, you move on. Not because you're cold, but because you're overwhelmed. And over time, that adaptation begins to shape you. We numb, not all at once, not completely, just enough to keep functioning. And in that numbing, something begins to shift. It doesn't just change how we feel, it changes how we relate to discomfort, to different perspectives, to each other. A different opinion can start to feel threatening. A conflicting viewpoint can feel intolerable. Not because we've lost intelligence, but because something deeper is being touched, our identity. We build it carefully, often unconsciously, around what we believe, what we consume, what we align with. And when those are challenged, it can feel destabilizing, even frightening. Because to question a belief can begin to feel like questioning the self. So instead of leaning in, we resist. Instead of listening, we defend. Instead of expanding, we contract. And underneath all of that, there is fear. This is where I return to the quiet loss of humanity. Not as something global, but as something internal. Because when we numb ourselves repeatedly, when we're exposed to pain without the ability to respond, something begins to close. Our capacity to feel becomes guarded. Our compassion for ourselves and for others begins to erode. And in its place, something else grows. insecurity, defensiveness, disconnection. And it doesn't stop with us. It shows up in our conversations, in our workplaces, in how we lead. Because without compassion, there is no space for honest dialogue. And without openness, there is no space for real change. So we stay where we are, repeating patterns, reinforcing division, not because we don't want to grow, but because we've lost the capacity to stay with what growth requires. So, this isn't a call to fix the world. It's something quieter than that, a return to yourself. So, here's what I invite you to do today. The next time you feel the urge to go past something quickly, to avoid it, to move on, pause and ask yourself, what am I not allowing myself to feel right now? And instead of moving on, stay, even for a few seconds longer than usual, because that moment, that willingness to stay, is how you begin to reclaim your humanity. And if you're willing to go one step further, notice where you've been shutting down in your relationships, where you've stopped listening, where you've become defensive, where you've pulled away, and gently choose to stay present in just one of those moments. Not perfectly, just consciously. Because this doesn't return all at once, it returns in moments. Maybe humanity isn't disappearing. Maybe it's waiting for us in the moments we choose not to turn away. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If something in this reflection resonated, I invite you to carry the feeling with you, gently, and without needing immediate understanding. You can explore more reflections and my work at my website, drsoor.com. drsoor.com. Until next time, this is Between Thoughts and Being, a reminder to live with awareness, to meet yourself with compassion, and to find meaning not only in what you think, but in how you are. Take care.